you doing?
There is much to do here, like always, but I survive.
You survive. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited. I've been doing these demos for the last two
Yes,
weeks,
that's good,
and
huh?
I'm always like, somebody come join me so I can talk to somebody. So thank you for joining me. I'm excited. I'm excited. Basically, all I do in these demos is kind of show people how I use AI in my life and my
Yeah.
business. And so this one was specific because Suzanne had asked a question. And so we're going to go over that. And I'm just going to show different ways of playing with AI is, I guess, the best way
Wow.
to describe it. If you have questions, please ask them. And if you, I know you can't usually watch and do at the same time, but you can always kind of take it. But we're basically looking at how to create quotes and testimonials on brand images. That's what we're going to do today.
Wow,
And it's
that's a good sign.
basically,
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to use Nano Banana and ChatGPT and a mixture of both and just see the differences, see what comes out of it. See, I mean, anytime I do a live demo with AI, as you know, who knows what can happen? It could be fun
Yes,
and
I know
exciting.
that. Yeah,
It could
absolutely.
be anything. We don't know. But here, let me just, I'm going to pin this to the front, and then I'm going to share my screen. So basically, as I said, if you're watching this on the recording, guys, this is just going to give you an opportunity to take a look at what I do, how I do things. These Monday AI demo plays are all May, and I pick different things. I've done how I use AI to repurpose from Substack to YouTube, back to LinkedIn, back to Facebook. That was, I think, 2 weeks ago. Last week, I can't even remember what we did, but this week we're going to be focusing on creating those testimonials and those quotes using branding images. So let me just kind of show you how I do it. I like showing different tools because I think it's important to understand that there's not one tool that's perfect for everything. We've talked about this many, many times. And the idea behind it is that some people really like Gemini, some people like chat. So I'm going to show you kind of a bit of all of those things. So again, it's not to pick your favorite, it's just to see what results come out of them. And then maybe what you need from a tool today would be Nano Banana. What you need from a tool tomorrow could be ChatGPT. So first round, we're going to look at all about chat. Okay, so ChatGPT, in my opinion, image 2.0 has done some incredible changes. I did a whole video on that. It's on my YouTube channel, but I love some of the work it's done with imaging. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to move over to Nano Banana. Let me just get my shared screen up for you guys so you can take a look. Here we go. All right, so
I see you, huh?
you see me? Do
Yeah.
you see me still? Let me just see if
Now
does.
it's good. We will see the screen. And now I see the screen. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so where do you begin? Chat's asking me. What we're going to do is first things first is we're going to generate some quotes. So if you have a ton of quotes that you love, you don't need to do this part, but I always like to have some quotes on hand. So I just wrote here, write 3 short inspirational quotes for a personal brand specialist who helps entrepreneurs build a visual identity that attracts high ticket clients. Tone, confident, direct, elevated, and under 15 words each. So we're just going to get that first. Now, if you have quotes that you love, like one of my favorite quotes of all time is, "You can't pour from an empty cup." It doesn't really play a role into what I'm trying to show here, so we're not going to use that one. But we are going to look at different ones here. So your visuals speak before you do, make them worth high ticket attention. Clients buy confidence first. Your visual identity should prove you already have it. And if your brand looks cheap, premium, clients scroll past premium expertise. So those are our 3 quotes under 15 words. Did pretty good. Now, ChatGPT does know me, so it's going to pick up my words, my conversation. Most of you who have created your own chat or Claude or even Gemini can add this to it. So
Yeah.
then what you're going to do is you're going to come over to your image area where you have your create an image, right? So we're going to create that image. And it's just going to say, create a branded social media graphic using this client testimonial, AI Identity Lab, and we're going to just see how it runs that. So as that's running in the background, once you have your quotes, you can then bring in an image of whatever you choose, ideally a personal brand of yourself. So let's just grab this photo here. And I'm going to grab this guy right here. And I'm going to say, add this quote to this image. Make the colors royal blue and white. All right. And then we're just going to see what happens. So notice I didn't give it a ton of information. I basically was just saying royal blue and white. I didn't give it a font. You can give all those things for sure. Let's just check in over here, see what's happened. Okay, so this is basically taking my information and creating it into the Identity Lab, right? Here's my quote. This is the information. Now, this is great. I love this. This is in my colors and all of that stuff. But now what we're going to do is we're going to actually try putting it on. We're going to put it on an actual image. So we're going to come back over to chat. We're going to create the image. I'm going to paste this here and I'm going to say, add this testimonial to the image attached. All right. And then again, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to pick an image. And just for ease sake, we're going to go with the same image. Again, you pick images that you want, what they look like. I recommend trying different images, different styles. This one's not fantastic for this, but let's just see what's come out. So there you go. Your visuals speak before you do, make them worth high ticket attention. All right. And all of a sudden it's taken my image and put the quote on it. Now, so let's say I wanted to change this a little bit. We're going to go into the edit and I'm just going to say, let me just see, what would I would do that? So change the bottom line, which is make them worth high ticket attention and use, what is it called? Cursive instead of capitals. Again, I'm just changing this up to see what happens. It also knows I spell terribly, so let's check back in over here. Okay, so there you go. So it's now taken my image, brought it into the testimonial, used my colors, and I'm not actually sure where it came up with this, which is kind of funny because that's not my brand, but I could then turn around and say, right now, again, remember when we talk about different things, it's all about layering. So I'm going to get it to layer my actual logo on there. Let's see if I can find it here. Dun, dun, dun. This is so many things. Anybody who's like, Lindsay, I thought you said you were organized. I am to a degree. All right. So I'm going to say remove the AI Identity Lab logo and add my actual logo. Okay, and then we'll see what goes on there. We'll give it a minute to look over here. Okay, so here you go. So your visuals speak before you do, and then make them worth it. So you can see they changed it to cursive instead of this one here. So you have options to change how you want this set up, right? We could make the words go across the screen. We can have them to the side, but that just gives you an idea of what that looks like. So now let's go back to this one, I think. And I'm going to pick another quote. So clients, let's do this one. Clients buy confidence. And I'm going to come in here. We're going to add a different image this time just to show you the difference is. Let's see if I can find one. Let's go with this one here. That's a video. Definitely don't do the video. Here we go. All right. So using the image below, add this quote to the image. Use my brand colors of royal blue and white. Oops.
Royal blue.
Yeah, royal blue, not twirl blue. Oh, see, I did it again. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then go in and we're going to see what comes up from that. All right, so then, oh, see, it didn't do anything. So, that's what happens when AI works. It doesn't actually do what you're supposed to do. So we're going to try it again, but I'll leave that for now. Okay, so this is ChatGPT. Okay, so ChatGPT is doing pretty good, right? You're going to look and make sure there's no spelling mistakes, no errors, that kind of thing. But we're going to just check in with this last one, and then I'm going to move over to Gemini because I want to see if Gemini is better, worse, indifferent. Again, it depends on the tool that you like to use, but we're going to go back over there to see what happens. But there you go. So clients buy confidence first. Your visual identity should prove it already, right? So it's added it here, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. So I'm just going to say change the wording and color to the lower portion of the image. Okay, so you can see that what I do when I play, and I legit play, is I just try different things, right? Would you like the lower portion to say instead, or what color to change to? No, I want it all the same, just at the bottom of the image. And hello, image instead of the side. All right. So we'll see what it does. And sometimes it makes perfect sense what I'm saying. And sometimes AI is like, what is she talking about? So you get to kind of play with those as you go through it. But again, you can see that we can get our pictures with our logos. We can get our pictures with our quotes and testimonials. Again, it's just a really great way to collect attention when you're posting on it. And Suzanne, who brought this to attention when she posted in the group. Thank you, Stan, if you're watching. She had it across her pictures. She had it around and just some ideas on what to do. So notice I didn't actually give it much direction. If you wanted to give it more direction, like maybe you don't love this, maybe you want it to be across, maybe you want it to be in cursive, that kind of thing, that's when, of course, you can give more details, right? So here you go. So I basically, this was the original one on the side. I said, let's change it. I want it on the bottom, right? So now technically I could use these in 2 different spots because they're different enough. Now I could also do this exact one and I could come in here and I'm going to use the exact same one. And I'm just going to come down and I'm going to pick this guy and I'm going to say, change the image to be this one instead. Keep the quote in the same spot. All right. So again, it knows I spell like crap. So there we go. So we're going to let that one think for a second. But again, so if you want to be more specific, if you like certain things, like maybe you don't like the big quotations, maybe you don't like the circular motion, maybe you want, I mean, I would like to have my logo there, but it didn't seem to work. I'll do it again. You get to give it as much information. But notice what I did is I didn't give it that much information. I just said, I want it to be use clean professional aesthetics with navy and turquoise as primary colors, add this testimonial. So I didn't give it a ton of information, and that's okay, right? It becomes part of whatever it is you choose to add. You want more detail, it's going to follow that. If you want less detail, right? So there you go. So now it's giving me the same idea, just with a new image. So I could use this image, use this quote card again, and just keep changing the images if this is a big quote for me in that sense. Okay, so that's with ChatGPT. So let me come back into my shared screen because we are going to go to Nano Banana, which is, of course, a Gemini. I do like Gemini. So let's see where we're going over here. Okay. Gemini has some good things going on. It used to be my boyfriend. I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love Gemini. I am definitely not feeling the same amount of love towards Gemini anymore, but we're going to do it. So first of all, we're going to get it to write 3 inspirational quotes. That's going to be step 1. And then we're also going to create a branded social media graphic. I use the exact same quotes, nothing different in terms of prompting. I'm going to come back to the exact same image, and we're just going to compare because that's what we like to do when we're working with AI. All right, so here's some quotes that it brought in. Stop blending in, build a visual legacy that commands high ticket respect. Ooh, you don't just design logos, we architect. Okay, that's okay. Attract elite clients by looking like the only logical choice in your industry. So cool. So I'm going to grab this one because I like it. I'm going to copy that. we're going to come into our tools. We're going to create an image. And then we're going to upload our image. I'll come back to this baby. And I'm going to say, use this quote on this image. And again, I'm going to give it very, very little. My branding colors are royal blue, whoops, royal blue, navy, and white. Let's just go with this. So again, very little information. So we want to always see what that comes up with. So here's the other one. All right, so you can see right out of the gates, it's changed the image. Okay, this is what AI is giving me these days in Gemini. Is it's like, I think we should change you. You should have a smile on your face or whatever it is, which is fine, except that that's not me anymore. That's not my teeth. That's not what I look like. So whatever, let's just go with it. But so the AI Identity Lab, right? And then it added a little bit of these little things. It added some stuff here. You know, again, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not what I love. So interestingly enough, it had a very similar logo plan from ChatGPT, which I think is really interesting. All right, coming back over here. So there you go. This one didn't change the image at all. It put the quote up here, which is good. So I'm just going to change this and say, write the quote across the bottom. And again, we'll just see how it works. I posted in the school community on, I don't know, this weekend sometime, maybe on Friday, on how to make some slight changes from smiles or facial expressions, positions, clothing, size, if you wanted to get bigger, smaller, bigger boobs, that kind of thing, on the community page, so that you could actually look at some of the ways that I detail it when I'm getting a little bit more specific. Okay, so I don't love this one, right? I'm like, do you really need to squish all of these into the bottom of that? So let me just say, can you make the quote the center of attention? Let's just see. AI might not have a clue what I mean by that, but let's just go with it. So yeah, so there's certain things that you could do. So let's say I really like this one, which I don't, but let's say I really liked it, but I wanted to change the smile. Then you would go and we take a look at what I posted in the community that says, you know, you can change this slightly to a small smile, a laughter, crying, whatever the facial expression is. But there's a very specific, like, do not change the facial features, do not change the clothing, do not, but it's very, very specific when it comes to that. So that's really helpful when you're trying to do it. Okay, so interesting. They're just going to cut me right out of it. So again, I am not loving Nano Banana in the last little while. So none of this surprises me whatsoever. But it's one of those things where you get to decide what that looks like for you, what you like, what you don't like. I definitely am going to be going with ChatGPT, which is definitely a better one without giving much of my like what I just did in terms of that information. But let me just quickly show you. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so. All right, so we're back here with ChatGPT, right? So you can see that, in my opinion, this one makes much better images with the quotes and the testimonials, which is obviously over here. There are some areas where I want to fix it a little bit, but overall, I feel like this is a much stronger option. And then, of course, you can make any changes you want to it as you go along. So if you want to mix and match them, use Gemini and use ChatGPT. Of course, you can bring those together. But as I said, for me personally, ChatGPT is winning the race on this one for me. Now, everybody is different. Everybody has different ideas of it. But really, when it comes down to it, playing is where it's all at. That's why I do this. So now, what do I do with any of these things? Well, I could put this on Facebook. I could put this on Instagram. I could put it on Substack, LinkedIn, whatever, and you can create it as it. So the main thing that I try to encourage you guys to do in the AI Identity Lab is to create your visual library. That would include this. So if you have images for your social media, images for your website, images for your funnel, images for your podcast, then you would also have quoted images, testimonial images. And so if you're writing something, or you need to put something out on socials, or you need to put something on your website, or somebody says, hey, can you send me an image of you with your favorite quote? You're not scrambling to do it. So in a perfect world, you would have quoted and testimonial images in your visual library already. But in the real world, which I know most of us live, it's like, okay, I want to put something on, or I need to post something. Let's do that. So that's to give you an idea of how I play a little bit with Nano Banana and ChatGPT to create those quotes, to create that testimonial. And you can, if you know what your fonts are and you know what your colors are with, the hex code or whatever it's called, I definitely use those. I just cheat out and say royal blue, navy. There should be a turquoise in there. There should be other colors in there, but I just made it quick. But definitely use those. And then go, if you really like a quote, make 3 or 4 different iterations of it. So with different photos of it, with different, to the side, to the back, to the front, whatever, and make a few so that you have a few sat somewhere in your visual library folder if you have an organization like I suggest, or just somewhere you can grab if you ever need to go and do a quick photo, a quick image for your social media. So that's all I got for you. I will also bring this all together and put it into a little mini lesson onto the community page as well. And of course, if you're watching this as a replay and you have any questions, let me know. But Chris, have you done anything like that with quotes or visuals or anything?
I have done such things, but I do them always when I need them. So I don't do them as a library. And I like to make pictures and to play with it. Sometimes I make 4 or 5, and then I choose the best one.
Yes,
So
yes.
that's a thing that I must learn, to be faster by having some reserve somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Having the organization is like next level for sure. We do love to have that so that you can go to it anytime. But also, like you, I like to play as well. So if something hits me with an idea or an inspiration, I go and do it. Then remember, realistically, doing 5 or 6 iterations before you find the one you like is usual, right? So if you're doing one and you're like, why didn't mine look the way that Lindsay's look? It's okay to do a few different ones and pick the one that you like the best and put it aside. Our 5-day challenge is coming. We start next Monday. So I'm super excited to kind of talk to you guys through on how we're going to go all about that. But organization is going to be one of those pieces to it, because we are going to be creating every single day. So of course we want to be able to keep that organized as well. So it will all be in the details. I'm going to post when I'm going to be going live and information in the school community soon. If you have anybody that you think would be really excited to come join this for the remainder of May, joining the AI Identity Lab is only going to be $7 a month. So use your affiliate, you know what I mean, affiliated link. No, that's still not the right word. It's Monday. And invite them in. They can join us for $7 for the month. And, hopefully they'll want to stay because it's amazing here. But if not, then, they've spent their $7 to learn all the things. So, but yes, definitely have all the information in the group in the next upcoming few days. But have yourself a great day. And thanks, Chris, for joining me. It's always fun to talk to somebody instead of talking to myself. I appreciate it.
Yes, and for me, it's always a pleasure to see you and to talk with each other and to see those beautiful images.
Yes, thank you. Images in action, guys. That's what it's all about. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye, Chris. See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye,
Bye.
Lindsay.